Hi, I'm Ellie Kay, also known as America's Family Financial Expert, and the author of 12 books on the subject of family finance. In today's video blog, I'll answer your questions in a segment I call Red, White, and Scammed. I'll discuss whether some of the opportunities that Americans have today are in fact a good deal or just fiction. Our very first question comes from a military family. And I believe that in some cases, military members and their families are particular targets. So let's get to Jennifer's question from Camp Pendleton. She writes, "What is the Red Cross scam and how do we recognize it as such?" Well, the Red Cross scam, Jennifer, is particularly despicable. It's where an individual will call a spouse or the parent of a military member and tell them that their loved one has been injured. They will oftentimes ask for a social security number or in some cases even a payment in order to initiate services for that military member. You should hang up and then call your chain of command and ask them if they know anything about an injury to your loved one. If you're a parent and you don't have the information for the chain of command, then simply go to redcross.org. And in doing that, you can follow the steps that are listed on the website. As an aside, I also want to thank you military members for your service. My husband was in the Air Force as a fighter pilot, and I have 3 children that are currently serving. We appreciate what you do. And for those that are their loved ones at home, you're what I call the heroes at home. Thank you also for your service. Now let's get to our next question, who is from Brenda in San Antonio. She writes, "I was interested in investing a portion of my portfolio in fixed indexed annuities, but I heard that by doing this, I would assume the investment risk if the stock market declines. Is this true?" Well, Brenda, I'm really glad that you asked this question. The idea that the FIA policyholder assumes the risk is fiction. The fact is that the insurers bear the entire investment risk. One of the reasons that I recommend FIAs is because the policyholder account values will never go down, even when indexes fall. You see, you're not participating in the stock market with an FIA. No indexed annuity purchaser has ever lost a single dollar as a result of the market's decline. So keep that in mind when you're looking at FIAs. Now let's see. The next question that we have is from Shauna in Oklahoma City. And she writes, "I got a phone call from my credit card company asking me if I'd made charges in Mozambique. Then they asked me for my social security number. My real credit card company has called me before. How do I know if the call is fact or fiction?" Shauna, I don't exactly know where Mozambique is, but I do know that when it comes to trying to validate whether this is a legitimate call or not, the most important thing to do is to, number one, ask them what card they're calling about, and of course never give them any information at all. You can also ask them if they have a case file number, but it's probably a really good idea to keep this conversation short and sweet, and instead hang up, go to your credit card, look at the number on the back of your card, and call that number to see if indeed your credit card has been compromised. We've had a case where it was a scam, and we were really glad we hung up. In another case, it was legitimate, and we were able to call back immediately and have a new card issued in order to prevent the scamster from using our card anymore. So now we're going to our next writer who writes in from Philip. It's Philip from Virginia Beach. He writes, "I was told that consumers couldn't lose money on fixed indexed annuities even when the markets are down. This has to be fiction, right?" Well, Philip, it's not fiction. In fact, it's true that consumers cannot lose money in an FIA if they hold it through the contractual surrender charge period. Virtually every FIA today provides a guaranteed floor, and the values can only go up. But beware that just like any other long-term savings vehicle tool such as CDs or mutual funds or IRAs, there are penalties for early withdrawal. That having been said, annuities now have features that allow for a greater flexibility. They're known as lifetime income riders. This feature guarantees a lifetime income as well as allowing retirees to dip into this income should the need arise. Of course, you have to keep in mind that if you withdraw a certain percentage of your principal, then your future monthly lifetime income payments might be similarly reduced. Even so, now you have the best of both worlds: the flexibility to access your money should the need arise, while you still guarantee your retirement income. Well, that's the end of our questions for today. Thank you very much for joining us, and remember that the worst thing that you can do is to do nothing at all. So be sure that you start today in doing something that can help your financial picture.